Hello and greetings to all of you from the Archdiocese of Suffolk. I hope I pronounced that right. My name is Michael Hall. I'm with Catholic Christian Outreach, CCO. I'm our Director of Ministry Training and Program Development. And we're really excited to be partnering with your Archdiocese in your Christmas initiative where you'll be sharing CCO's Ultimate Relationship Booklet, which is a small, charismatic, you might call it a gospel tract, a small booklet that you can share with people that just outlines the basic charisma, our basic message of our Catholic faith in a very approachable and easy to read and easy to respond to way. And I was asked just to share a few points, and I'm going to share 4 points with you about what makes the Ultimate Relationship Booklet a successful tool, a useful tool in evangelization, and to share just a little bit about how we use that. As you may know, CCO, our main demographic that we work with is university students, but we've used this booklet in all kinds of different contexts, including the parish context, and used it all over the world. So we're really excited to be partnering with you. And as I said, I wanted to share just 4 points with you about how this can be a useful tool for you. Now, to start off with, I think perhaps the most useful point or the most important point is that it gives a very clear and simple outline of the charisma. And of course, the charisma is that core message of our faith, that core message of what we believe as Catholics. One of the things is about our Catholic faith is that we have such a depth of riches to be able to draw from in our tradition. You and I both know that we could spend our entire lives studying the truths of our faith and not even come close to being able to plumb the depths of everything that we believe and everything we hold to be true. But for many, especially those who will be coming to your Christmas masses, that's not what they're ready for. What they need at that point, and that's this point in the evangelization mission, this point in their journey back to a relationship with our Father, is they need that basic set of truths that they can really try to grab hold of that will help springboard them towards everything else that we believe. Because we know that the charisma is what is central, and everything else that we believe flows from the charisma, from that basic message. They need to know that they are loved by God and that God is offering them a relationship, in fact, created them for a personal, intimate, loving relationship with Him, but that relationship has been broken and that we're to blame. That yes, we can trace it back to Adam and Eve, but each one of us as well personally have faltered and have distanced ourselves from God. But that's why Jesus came, that in the Father's infinite love and mercy, He sent Jesus to be able to reconcile that through His life, His death, and His resurrection. And now a reconciled relationship is offered to each one of us. And now we have a choice. We have a choice to make of whether or not we want to embrace that relationship or not. And we all have that free will to be able to make that choice. And see, with that basic foundation, now everything else the church believes can now come into focus. We often refer to it as a little bit like if you take a jigsaw puzzle and you dump it out on the table in one of those 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles. And at first, when you dump it out, it's really hard to see where everything fits. You start picking a piece here and a piece there, and you kind of, maybe these two go together, but it's hard to see how the whole picture fits. And I think for many people, that's what all the beautiful truths that we believe, they kind of look like that for many people. But what the charisma does is it provides those edge pieces that you look for with the straight edge or the corner pieces so that you can start to build the frame. And once you have the frame, now you can be, okay, this piece then goes here, and then, okay, that goes there, and you can start to build the entire picture. But until you have the frame, it doesn't really make sense. It looks like a big jumble of pieces. Well, in presenting the charisma, I think that's what we're doing. And what the Ultimate Relationship Booklet does is it presents the charisma in a very clear and simple way so that it doesn't have to become a difficult thing to be able to share the charisma with somebody. It makes it possible really for anyone to share the message of the charisma because the wording of the Ultimate Relationship Booklet has been honed over many years of experience to be able to present the message in a way that resonates with people, that they're able to respond to it and be able to understand what is being presented to them. but it also makes it easy for the person who is presenting it to be able to share that message. And I'll get to that a little bit later in the last point. So first and foremost, the ultimate relationship works because it shares the kerygma in a clear and simple way. And what a beautiful thing to be able to do at your Christmas masses, especially for those who perhaps haven't been to church in a long time. As we all know, many of our brothers and sisters who maybe don't frequent Mass on a regular basis will come back at times like Christmas and times like Easter, these important milestones in our liturgical year, but sometimes that's the only times they come. But what a beautiful thing we have to offer them if we can present the kerygma to them in a way that they can really grasp, and maybe that can be a launch point for their relationship with God. Now, secondly, the Ultimate Relationship Booklet, or the UR for short, offers a very clear invitation, personal invitation to response to the kerygma. What often happens when we proclaim the kerygma is we might forget that last point, which is that now you and I and every person have a choice to make. How am I going to respond to the gift that's being offered me through the Paschal Mystery? And what the Ultimate Relationship Booklet does is it makes that invitation, and that it prompts a response to that invitation very concretely. Within the booklet, as in really the entire structure of the booklet leads to this very concrete response to the invitation. So as we work our way through the kerygma, we get to the point where we ask people directly, what type of relationship do you want to have with God? And we actually ask them to do a bit of a self-diagnostic and to say, how do you see your relationship right now? And how would you like to see it? And then we ask them in a clear and personal way, would you like to have a relationship with Jesus? See, there's no ambiguity then. There's no question of whether or not that message of choice, that message of invitation was designed for that individual hearer. As we hand them this booklet, whether they just read the booklet or whether they are being able to have that booklet shared with them in a more individual, personal way, it's clear. It's clear that they're being invited into a relationship with God. And I think that's one of the strengths that the UR brings, is it makes the invitation concrete, it makes it personal, and it makes it direct. There's no way to say, well, I didn't get invited. No, it says that even if they just read the booklet itself, it's right there in the text that it asks them, do you want to say yes to a relationship with Jesus right now? And if so, there is an actual prayer written into the booklet so that either they can pray it on their own, or in the best situations, they're able to pray it with someone so that they have someone who journeys with them, who accompanies them through this experience of initial conversion, or at least the beginnings of initial conversion. So you have this concrete invitation and a concrete request for a response. Now, what also happens in this, the third point I want to make, is that there's also a automatic or immediate follow-up opportunity that happens just by having the physical booklet, which I have a copy right here. Just by having this physical booklet in your hand and being able to hand this to someone, that gives an automatic opportunity for follow-up. Because we all know that when we present a new idea or a new topic to somebody, no matter how effective a teacher you might be, or any of us might be, there's only so much that somebody will retain in that moment. So if I present the kerygma in 4 points, it's not likely that on the first hearing that person's going to retain all 4 points and be able to live their life from it, just from one sharing. So in giving the booklet, especially if it's attached to a sharing of the kerygma, which I understand is also part of the hope for your Christmas homilies this year, which I think is a beautiful initiative, I think it provides this opportunity for immediate follow-up because they have the key points of this kerygmatic presentation are right here in a booklet for them. And, I heard a story a number of years ago from one of our mission projects, and somebody on our mission project, we were just going to a World Youth Day, and they shared the booklet, the Ultimate Relationship Booklet, with somebody who they didn't know at World Youth Day. And somehow later on, years later, other CCO people came into contact with this person. And this person shared about what an impact had been had in their life when one of our mission participants shared the Ultimate Relationship booklet, but also the impact of having the booklet itself, the physical copy, because they left the little booklet on their nightstand right beside their bed for years and would regularly go back and take a look at it and be reminded of the truths that had been presented in a short conversation at World Youth Day. And that became just something that bolstered their faith, something that was able to, maybe in a moment where things were, maybe a doubt was coming in or a struggle, but they were able to go back to it and to be able to see those truths in print and be reminded of what they had heard, what had been shared with them, and what they had come to believe. So in handing out the booklet to people, you're actually providing an immediate, concrete follow-up opportunity, even if nobody ever speaks to them again. Now, of course, we know that many people will just take the booklet and perhaps throw it out, or maybe it'll be on a shelf somewhere and they'll never look at it again. But hopefully, there will be that small percentage who will take that booklet and will continue to look at it again and again and have that regular follow-up, even if they never speak to somebody again. Of course, we hope they do speak to someone again, but even if, hopefully the booklet will provide that opportunity. And lastly, the booklet is easy to share, which means it's easy to engage people in the mission of evangelization through this booklet. We all know that sharing the gospel can be a frightening thing for people, especially if you've never had the opportunity to do it before. But we also know that each and every one of us are called to the mission of evangelization by our very baptism, which means each and every one of us as Catholic brothers and sisters have been called to the mission of evangelization. We are called to share the gospel with the people around us. So how do we get them ready to do that? Well, again, I will point to our little booklet as one great way to be able to do this. It is an easy training material to be able to help people learn how to share the gospel in a clear and simple way, and to make sure that you don't get off track, that you don't go off talking about all kinds of other things that maybe don't relate to the kerygma, or at least not as naturally as you hope it might. Again, with the depth that we have in our faith, it's really easy to kind of get off track when we want to talk about the kerygma. What the booklet does is it keeps you focused, on task, knowing the message you want to present, staying on that message, and knowing that message is an authentic Catholic presentation of the kerygma. And in doing so, it provides an amazing opportunity to be able to train the next generation of missionaries who can go out and share the kerygma with others. Now, perhaps that'll be parishioners in your parishes. It might even be just the people that you share this booklet with. Because even just by virtue of sharing this message, while you're also proclaiming a message to someone, you're at the same time showing them how to proclaim it to somebody else. And so even in the simple presentation of this booklet and the message that's contained in it, you're actually sowing the seeds for the preparation of the next generation of missionary disciples who can go out and share the gospel to the people that they are in their lives. And to be able to go to those who are perhaps already leaders in your parishes and to be able to help them see a new way, or perhaps even for the first time, a way to be able to share the gospel in a charismatic presentation that is clear and simple and invites a direct and personal response on behalf of the listener. Of course, you can see we're very passionate about this booklet. We think it's a very effective tool. That's why we've been using it for probably close to 20 years at this point in our ministry. And we've given out hundreds of thousands, if not more, copies of this booklet all over the world. And we're really excited to be partnering with you to be able to provide this booklet for those people who will be coming to your Christmas Masses. Thank you so much for this initiative that you're taking. Thank you so much for offering us the opportunity to partner with you. And know that we'll be praying for all of you as you go into your Christmas Masses, as you begin to distribute this and share the kerygma with all the people throughout your diocese and in Suffolk and throughout the London area. And please pray for us as we do the same here as we try to be able to share the gospel with the people that we come into contact with here in Canada. So thank you very much. Know that you're in our prayers.